Hello, beautiful ladies, and welcome to today's masterclass, the 16-week mastery lifestyle program for 50 plus women. So this is a masterclass on food, movement, and mindset for midlife women wanting to age beautifully, powerfully, connected, joyful, and free. My name is Karen McCoy, and I will be walking you through this masterclass today. So if you're over 50 and you've been quietly thinking, is this all there is? You're not wrong. See, there's a quiet shift happening, an awakening, if you will, in midlife women all over the world. It's not about trying harder. You don't need another book. You don't need another podcast. We need to outgrow the version of us that built our current life. This is where women are in transition, rebuilding their body, questioning their life, reframing their choices, and looking at other options. So midlife isn't about starting over. It's about up-leveling who you want to be. And this is where in my work, I weave all four factors into what we do physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. All must be woven together in this important time of transition for women. So before we move into today's presentation, I want to be really, really clear with you. So who is the 16-week mastery program for? This is for you if you want a great body, a kick-ass life, but you're burned out mentally. You've tried so many things and you just want a straight path that gets you there. You feel like you're always working on your health and self, reading the latest self-help book, listening to podcasts, trying different diets and exercise routines, but nothing really works, or it works for a while, but then life happens and you fall away. You're living your roles, the perfectionist, the people pleaser, worrywart, fixer, good wife, to name a few, and you're ready to get off this survival treadmill and move into thriving. You crave clarity, honesty, and strong leadership with someone that knows your life, your challenges, and has successfully navigated all the life struggles today's aging women are facing. Who is this program not for? This is not for you if you're looking for another quick fix, like the best diet, the best workout, magic supplements, lotions, or potions. You tend to be a tire kicker, always searching, trying stuff, but you never complete on it. And frankly, this has been a habit of yours for years. You're not comfortable with inner work talk, mindset, energy work, psychology. It doesn't interest you and it might even scare you. Or you're not really wanting to commit to a change in perspective and lifestyle because it seems like work and you prefer to stay in your comfort zone. Again, that's just another habit. So as women, this is how we're taught to look at our bodies, especially if you were born a baby boomer like I was in the 60s or even a little bit later, the 70s. So this is where we're taught to over cardio, cut calories, but nothing's happening or it doesn't stick. We're taught to do Beachbody, CrossFit, circuits are hit with no real results. We're told it's all about the numbers, macros, calories, formulas. We play with keto, intermittent fasting, low carb, paleo, vegan, but it's not sustainable. It's often not enjoyable. We're working on the inside stuff, reading self-help books, hoping to feel inspired to get our groove back. But today's 50 plus woman is aging faster with high stress living, faster pace of life, more sedentary living, and overrun with technology. So our goals in this mastery program are multifaceted. So we want to show you how to work with your aging body rather than against it. So that means nutritionally, emotionally, and spiritually. We want to bridge the gap between where you are and where you want to be. Stop the diet do-overs. Let go of societal expectations and roles and rules that have boxed you in for too long. Understand your unique biochemistry and needs at this age. Understand where and why you self-sabotage and throw those habits to the curb. Dispel the myths. Enjoy high-level coaching and expertise. And truly, we just want to age differently than the majority. So who am I? I've been around for quite some time. There's some of my certifications, and I've had a long go of training women all the way from their 30s up into their 70s. I've done a lot of shows as well. So from 29 to 53, I really loved competing. I no longer compete. I don't train competitors, but I learned a lot in all of my shows. Of course, I was always organic and natural, never did anything other than whole foods, hydration, and quality training. But this has helped me to work with women at all ages, all levels, and all lifestyles. But who am I now at 60? So this is my son, Tristan. Many of you know of his journey. Tristan was born with Duchenne muscular dystrophy. So it is a degenerative and terminal condition. He is 30, he's still with us, but he taught me about the importance of having a strong heart and a balanced mindset. So when I started my career in body transformation 30 years ago, I was focusing mainly on the food and the fitness, the physicality of it all. With Tristan's journey and all of my pathways into the metaphysical and the world of energetics and the spiritual world, in order to heal my heart because of his journey and what he was enduring, it led me into that inner landscape. And that has been the best gift for me in carrying forward to my women. So that has helped me to create a unique perspective where the inside and the outside now match and move in congruency. We cannot have physical health if we don't have spiritual and emotional health as well. So our three must-dos of graceful aging, we'll look at these in the next few minutes, our food, our body, and our mindset or our spiritual. Let's start with food. We're always about the food, right? So this is from module 2 in the master program. This is where I want you to ditch the diet mentality. This is about living with food freedom, living lean, healthy, and energized. And so this is where I steer women towards intuitive eating. But we've got to get a few things down. First, we've got to see how you eat. We've got to see your timing. All that stuff has to come in. But the diet brain is so entrenched in women. Even when we think we're not doing a labeled diet, if we're restricting and letting loose and restricting and letting loose, that zigzag is still a diet mentality. So that has to go if we're going to create food freedom and intuitive eating to build a strong, healthy body and mindset. So our 4 food factors, if you will, are meals, timings, portions, and macros. These need to be looked at on an individual basis with our women. All of our women get an individualized food plan built around where you're currently at. We're looking at your metabolism. We're looking at your history, your diet history as well, which has a big play in things. We're looking at your proteins, carbs, and fat. We're looking at portions, lifestyle, when you're putting your movement in, all of that kind of stuff is important. So this is about creating an individualized food plan, bringing strategy and structure into your food and life, and resulting in a strong, responsive metabolism, balanced hormones, and living in homeostasis, which is just a fancy word for balance. This is where we're moving towards food freedom, intuitive eating. A lot of people think, oh, I eat intuitively, but they haven't done the steps in order to get there. They're just eating without any structure, and it's haphazard, and they're really not reaching their goals, because intuitive eating requires that we understand our food, our portions, our macros, all of that kind of stuff. And then we can let it go and move into understanding how to feed ourselves without all the rules and restrictions. No more binging, no more controlling, no more fallaways on weekends. It really is a beautiful way to live. And some of the things that I pull in to the mastery program are some fun things. Cheats, refeeds, yes, they are different, and our 36-hour McCoy mini juice fast. So these are just things that we can add in to bring variety, to help to keep the metabolism strong, and to just have a bit of fun with our food. And again, it depends on the personality and the lifestyle of the woman in front of me. Not everybody is able to do a cheat or refeed because they might have some challenging belief systems or something happening there. So we got to clear that out first. but they really are lovely add-ins. And I use one or all of these at various times in order to keep my energy up, keep my metabolism strong, keep the skin clear, and keep my hormones balanced, all that good stuff. Now let's look at the body. Yes. So this is where we need to train our age. So this is where we have to, again, go into our clients on an individual basis, look at goals, experience, lifestyle, and recovery. Recovery has the asterisks because it's the most important factor at this age. Okay, so the recovery is the nervous system at play. And unless we are feeding ourselves well, moving ourselves well, managing stress, hydrating, sleeping well, our recovery, our nervous system tends to get shredded. It gets more sensitive with age. And the emotional world most definitely has an effect on the nervous system. And that is why we need to do this mindset work, especially at this age, because we have had decades of unconscious self-sabotage, beliefs, patterns, and conditioning, etc., that are wearing out the spirit, the nervous system, the mindset, if you will, and we need to clear those out in order to create a robust recovery system. So as our body changes, so too must our movement plan, right? So this is why I always focus on weight training for women. You can have other stuff that you're doing, yoga, Pilates, cycling, whatever it happens to be. Those are beautiful. If they're your soul food, we want to keep those. But weight training over and over and over again for decades, and in my experience doing this for many years, shows that it is the most important element in our movement category in order to live well and age well the next 20, 30 years on the planet. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. So the 50 plus woman has a unique biochemistry, unique nervous system, as I was saying, hormonal and skeletal changes that require a very different strategy. These are just some of the girls in my home gym. We must train our age. So we've looked at a lot of these different things over the years. Some of you are being taught the lovely burpees, which I always promise my women I'm not going to give them. The battling ropes, which can really be hard on your shoulders. Need to be careful with those. Pull-ups, overhead clean and presses or clean and jerks. These are all valid training protocols, but for women over 40, 50, 60, we must be careful. If you've been doing these for years, fine. If you haven't, they are not something that you should step in because they are too hard on our tendons and ligaments. It's the tendons and ligaments that start showing the wear and tear way before the muscles. The muscles are always willing, and so is the heart. But the tendons and ligaments, they run the show and they age faster than the muscles. So all of these are counterproductive and can be dangerous if not done in a structured and secure manner. Then we look at things that have been moving around for a long time. The beach body. Yes, the beach body was so popular, still is with a lot of people. Honestly, guys, that woman isn't even 30. Okay, so we don't have a 30-year-old body anymore. HIIT, again, it's changed. It's changed its definition. It has come into doing really fast stuff over and over and over again in a circuit fashion, which is great because it builds a sweat, but a sweat does not necessarily mean you're working hard. I know that's counterproductive and counterintuitive, but it's absolutely true. You can lay in the sun and sweat. Doesn't mean you're building muscle or losing fat, right? And so again, the strength training needs to be a component, a big component in HIIT. It's not about moving fast through different exercises necessarily. It's about targeting the muscles. Boot camp, we love boot camp. I want my women to be outside in Mother Nature. It's so important. But when we use this as our go-to, as our major movement pattern, we're missing out again on the musculature, the rinse and repeat of working the muscles over and over with the dumbbells, the barbells, the push-ups, whatever it happens to be, because that, again, is how we build and maintain strong muscle, strong organs, strong metabolism, and strong bones. We'll talk about that in a minute. And of course, cardio. Okay, so cardio, we know cardio is not the best. It's definitely not the best muscle builder, muscle maintainer. In fact, if you over cardio and under weight train, you're going to lose your muscle. Mother Nature and Father Time is always pulling the muscle off the body after the age of 40 when our hormones start to shift because we're not making babies anymore. And it says, okay, you don't need all this lean muscle anymore. We're going to take it off. Add in cardio without strength training to be the majority of the movement in that program. You're going to pull off the muscle, and it's also going to challenge bone. So there is a time and a place for cardio, but I always say major in weights and minor in cardio. So strength training. This is me in my little gym on Vancouver Island. And I want to share Sarah with you. Now, I don't train competitors anymore, and I'm not going to train any of my current women as competitors. The reason I'm showing this is because Sarah was a coach's dream. She came to me with a binging issue. She was always hitting plateaus where she would lose and then plateau, and then she'd get frustrated. She'd be there for a few weeks and gain and plateau and gain and plateau and lose and plateau. And that yo-yo work is so tiring on the body, the metabolism, and the brain. Her training was not on target. She was doing more cardio and doing more conditioning versus strength training. She had a lot of stress in her world. She's got 2 young girls. She's a full-time teacher. And she had a hard time cutting out the noise, meaning she was reading everything. She's very smart, very intellectual. And she was reading and trying to learn and put it all together. And it just wasn't working for her. But this is where I say information is not transformation. So when she came to me, I just asked her to put my faith in me and the program and in what we're going to do. And so you can see her from September to May. So that's 8 months. And she went from 33% body fat to 15% body fat. And she won her show. And I'm so proud of her because she has only added on 5 pounds. She does not binge or restrict. She has a healthy relationship with food. She's a full-time and very present mother and wife and teacher. And she works out in the gym 3 to 4 days a week. And she has maintained her beautiful, lovely shape out of consistency and not going through the highs and lows, which she was living for many, many years. So she went from 137 down to 110 pounds. So she's kept about 20 pounds off with ease, eating intuitively. She doesn't use an app, which she used to. She doesn't track stuff, which she used to. And she was just and continues to be a dream client and a good friend. I want to talk about bone health briefly. So this is my mama in the middle, my sister on the right, and that's me, of course. My mother used to be the same height as us. She has lost about 5 inches. Now, shortly after this photo, she went into a wheelchair. She can't walk anymore. Her doctor has basically said her osteoporosis is so advanced that her bones have turned to chalk. She was on Fosamax, for years, which is there to build health of the bone, which science has proven in many, many journals that it just does not work. She took all of her calcium. It does not work, guys. The best way to mitigate bone loss is strength training. Add on top of that a healthy diet. And yes, you need your protein because protein is what's in your bones. And so if you're not eating enough quality whole foods, including protein, and you're not strength training, your bones cannot stay strong. They get quite porous, actually. And once they go, you can't build back bone. Now, some people and some journals are coming out with information saying that you can. I have yet to see the real science there. Once it's gone, it's gone. And especially the older you are. So we want to start strength training before the hormone shift. The sooner you get into strength training, the sooner you can hang on to the bone. And the other deal is when you're small boned, when you're petite like me and my family, we're all 5'2", 5'3". I think my sister's 5'3". We don't have a lot of bone to work with. We don't have a lot of bone to spare. So we have to hold on to everything that we have. I haven't lost a millimeter in my height, in my bone structure. My mother has lost 5 inches. We have the same body structure, the same musculoskeletal structures as well. And she has lived a very different life. of obviously not weight training. She came from a very different generation, born in the 40s, and thought a little bit of yogurt or some chicken once in a while would be enough protein. She loved her coffee, which is very acidic. You've got to be careful with acidic foods. Coffee, alcohol, a lot of prescription meds are very acidic, and it draws the alkaline minerals, calcium, magnesium, out of the bone. So that is why we need a whole foods diet with plenty of vegetables and protein and carbs. Okay, we can't go low carbs. Protein cannot be synthesized without carbohydrates. So again, this is something we look at and teach you in the mastery program. Osteo is no laughing matter. It has been heartbreaking to watch my mother go from a strong woman who walked for hours every day in her 50s to now living life from a wheelchair in constant pain and probably won't ever walk again. Let's look at our final component, mindset. So the mindset is the foundation. So science shows us that 95% of our beliefs are unconscious, and that is what's running the show. So we do a whole thing on how our brain is wired and how to rewire our brain, which we move into in every module in our program, because we have to keep repeating the lesson and getting deeper into that psyche, that how we think is how we live. And we have unconscious beliefs and patterns and conditioning in there that we're not even aware of. And when we start uprooting those with a very unique beliefs detox that we do and start turning that around, that is when we start living from what I say, the inside out versus the outside in. So we need to update our operating system, our brain, in order for real change and real results to happen. Updating the brain is not just for body recompositioning. It is for financial health, relationship health, healthy career, healthy view of the world, absolutely everything. That's why it is so important, and that's why I integrate it into absolutely every program and every coaching piece that I do. Your mindset matters, ladies. So this is where I hear a lot of women saying, I've done a lot of therapy and counseling over the years. I do yoga and I meditate every day. I've taken tons of self-development programs, but nothing ever really changes. Mindset is the anchor. This is, again, what I call living from the inside out, not the outside in. The externals, the podcasts, the self-help books, the Google searches, that is information, which is great, but it needs to be in the form of transformation, which is an energetic shift, and it needs to work at the deepest level within your firing neurotransmitters in your brain, basically. So it's a fresh strategy that's needed to create a sustainable and successful outcome, and in this place, a body and life transformation outcome. No more do-overs, no more guessing, no more hoping, no more. It's about having a solid structure, clarity, simplicity, that you can trust and carry that forward for the rest of your days. So this is where I put all of my women through a beliefs detox. This is what changes everything for them. This is what moves the needle. So we go into our beliefs. Why do we believe them? And then we go into a 180-degree turnaround. This is something that myself and my mindset coach work deeply with as soon as women come in. We get your mindset cooking first, ladies. Really, really important. Okay. Because unless we get that working, no matter what we do around food and exercise, it won't stick. And all of that unconscious stuff is still at work in there. So we uproot it and kick it to the curb. So that's what we call getting the junk out. And a lot of women at first are a little bit fearful of it. And when they do it, they're like, oh my gosh, I just let go of 50 pounds of energetic stuff that I've been carrying that I didn't even know I was carrying for years. It is so freeing, because you cannot have a physical transformation without an emotional and spiritual transformation. That's the inner work. That is the secret sauce. So when you shift your thoughts and habits, the rest will follow. This is Jen. Jen is one of my true successful women in the program. And this is seven, actually, it's more longer than that now. She's actually lost over 100 pounds. And it has been with ease and flow. She was emotional eating, or she was binging on candy. She wasn't paying attention to things because she was looking after her two kids. And so there was always that on the outside, and she was being triggered from childhood stuff as well. So we worked through all of that stuff with her. And she was so good at what she did and has kept it off for like 10 years now. And is living in ease and grace and flow that she works with me in the program. And this is Kristen. Kristen, I think she's down more than 30 pounds. Kristen came to me. She is a trainer and a nutritionist certified, and she got stuck trying to get rid of the extra weight. And she went into the classic low carb. I got a low carb. Even those in the industry get caught up in trends. When I brought her on, I looked at her training. We had to shift her training into more targeted training, but with less time in the gym. And we had to slowly incorporate carbs into her body so that she could support her training and support her energy, her lifestyle, her beautiful family and life. And her metabolism came back on track. And she is, again, another beautiful example of living with intuitive eating, 9% down in body fat. Incredible. So to live well and age well requires this multifaceted approach. This is where we've looked at food, movement, and mindset. Two other things I want to share with you: accountability and mentoring. So accountability. Accountability and support are vital as we transition into the second half of life after 50. We need to be accountable because left to our own devices, and you guys know this, we're going to not go for a workout today. We're going to fall away from our food because we've been good during the week. Now it's the weekend. So that accountability piece is super important at the get-go, but you learn to be accountable with self in time. And that support is important because it's really important that when you fall away, you have the support for somebody who can witness it and say, this is what I see, because you might not be able to see it, guys, honestly. And that support means being in with a group of other like-minded women, all doing the same thing. We're all just walking each other home, guys. So the mentoring is coaching, expertise, and community in which to share, learn, and grow. This is what I call the ecosystem of success. You want to be successful in business? Surround yourself with successful business people. You want to be successful in body transformations? Surround yourself with people who love food freedom, who have a good relationship with food, who want to move their bodies, who are living the way you want to live and doing the things that you need to do in order to be getting there. So the mentoring is leadership and having those people in your world. Here's what I say. You are defined, no, sorry, it's not my saying. This is, I think it's Jim Rohn. You are defined by the 5 people that you surround yourself with. Absolutely true. When women come into this program, these are just some of my lovely women I want to share with you over the years. When women come into this program or any program with me, I always ask if they have a spouse or partner. Are they on board? I want to know also about their lifestyle. What they're doing in their off time, because if you're trying to build a healthy body and healthy habits, but you're living with people who are not, or you're surrounded at work or in your social life by people who are not, it is very hard to stay on track. Not impossible. What you can do is come into our community with women who are working this program or any of my other programs who are working it, and make that an ecosystem of support as well. Because you need to see and mirror and be mirrored by other women doing what you want, living as you want, right? Super, super important. I can't underestimate that enough. We don't grow in isolation. We're not walking this path alone, guys. So in the 16 weeks in the mastery program, I just wanted to quickly share with you the modules so you get a feel for it. Again, I'm not going into detail here. I'm just going to show you a little snapshot of each one. Module 1 is what is empowerment coaching. We look at meditations. This is where we do the beliefs detox as well. We start looking at what's holding you back and getting clear on that and becoming conscious of that. That's also where we go into rewiring the brain in module 2, where you work with myself and my mindset coach, Jen, in order to reframe things so you're up in a higher vibration, higher energy, because that's where the good stuff is. When you're down in shame, guilt, fear, frustration, anger, whatever, you cannot create a healthy body, healthy mindset, healthy habits when you're coming from those unhealthy, lower energetic areas. It just can't happen, right? It's like swimming upstream. So module 2 is the biggest and most important module in this program because it sets the stage for everything else. Module 3 is where we get you into now your first workout and your food plan. And we create these for you. In a food plan, we want to see pictures of your food. Don't just tell me how to eat, how you're going to eat. I want you to show me because I get a feel for your metabolism, your portions, your timing, all that kind of stuff. We need to know where you're at in order to take you where you need to go. We take a look at your macro outline. We take a look at your calories. If we drop you from 3,000 calories down to 1,500, you're going to plateau. There's so many rules embedded in there in the coaching that we do. So we do it in a systematic way with progressions that allows your body to adopt along the way while we're building beautiful shapely muscle, keeping the bones strong, keeping your organs strong, and building metabolism. Lots of workouts to choose from, by the way. They're all yours to have and hold. And you can download them and save them, but we will choose one with you to follow you through the program. Module 4, metabolism reset. I love this one. 10 days is all it takes. We have a little reset. It's not a kit. It's not a diet. It's not liquids, guys. You don't have to buy anything. The metabolism reset brings back homeostasis and balance, if you will, to your food and your body. It has to come back into balance. And then we apply the macros and menu plans, and then your food plan can take flight because your metabolism is strong and working again. Module 5. Oh yeah, I love this one. Are you an emotional eater? It's a little quiz that we do. It's quite fun, actually, and it shows you on the map where you sit as far as being an emotional eater. Number 6, archetypes. Okay, this is the one that women are always talking about. Archetypes, personas, masks, if you will. People pleaser, fixer, caregiver, good wife, guilty mother, all or nothing, perfectionist. These are all the archetypes that we have dragged with us through the first half of our life that has been about survival, fitting in, taking care of everybody. Now we have to put those on the back burner and create healthier archetypes to carry us into the second half of this life of ours, which is built on thriving. So it's and we actually go over archetypes a lot in this program because it is the most often asked for, and it is the one where everybody goes, wow, that was one of the most powerful modules, was learning about archetypes. And this is where, again, we're going into ditch the diet mentality. Okay, this is where we go deeper into making sure that you're staying on track with your food and you're not falling back into the diet mentality. Number 7, mastering your mindset, beliefs and habits, guys, super important. This is where we go deep into the different structures in our brain, the negativity bias, the confirmation bias, the fear bias. These are all built into us when we're born. When we understand them, we can massage them and work with them so that we can create stronger beliefs, stronger habits, and an expanded self-identity for our next phase in life, which also supports our body transformation work and our mindset work. Module 8, we move into More oomph in our workouts. Do we need to change them? Do we need to enhance them? Do we need more intensity? How are you feeling? What's working? All that stuff. And we add in stretching and abs and glutes, of course. Module 9, we look at the fresh eating style. This is my own food pyramid that I've created over the years. It is free. It is responsive. It's easy. It's simple. It's healing. It is loving the environment and Mother Nature. We look at supplements as well. Okay, again, we don't have to buy out the whole store, and we're not going crazy with supplements, but there are basics we need because our soil and our air is being downgraded, and so are our foods. Module 10, aging, training, sleep, and recovery. Another big one, guys. One of our favorite modules. Module 11, we look deeper, because we're always working on energy, deeper into energy work, triggers. Oh my gosh, triggers are a big one. Again, another one where women go, oh, yes, I get it. Those triggers and where it hits us in the body. This is also the importance of weight training and being back in your body, because most of us divorce ourselves from the body. When you're back in and the triggers happen, you feel it in your throat, or you get a headache, or in your gut, or in your heart, or in your lower back. These are the triggers that are hitting our body that we learn to pay attention to and go, oh, I got it. When that kind of person, or when this happens, all of a sudden I clamp down in my jaw, which may be where you hold anger. You may hold anger in your hips, right? We have to learn our emotional landscape and where we're holding it in the body. Super, super important. Module 12, breathe. This is where we just go into a wonderful meditation I created that women absolutely love, and we go into some more mantras. We're always working on mantras, by the way. You can call them affirmations if you want to. This is how we feed our brain the good stuff, okay? We ditch the unhealthy thoughts, and we're constantly on watch for them, and we're building these beautiful affirmations and mantras to guide us in this beautiful life of ours. Module 13. This is again going into the third phase of the workouts. Every time we go into training tips and tidbits, what's happening, the whys and hows, Q&As, all that kind of stuff. This is where I'm leading you through as your personal trainer, if you will, your physical fitness coach. And we also do check-ins, not just here, but throughout the program. You're checking in with our food goddess, you're checking in with me, and you're checking in with our mindset gal, Jen. Module 14, graceful aging. What does that mean? Metabolism, and we have a cool hormone quiz. I have a gal, Kelly, who works only on hormones. That's our whole shtick. She's been doing it for 25 years. We have a free quiz. You can take the quiz, take a look, and you can always chat with her about what's happening. Now, this is for women not doing pharmaceuticals. Some women can't do bioidenticals or HRT. We talk a little bit about that as well in the program, but if you look for more herbal or tincture, natural remedies, this is where Kelly comes in, and the hormone quiz is very, very cool. It takes like 5 minutes. Module 15, 6 unique food strategies for 50 plus women. These are my unique food strategies that I have adopted and used over my 30 years that really aren't out there in mainstream, but they're simple tools that have just become a part of my life. They're ingrained in my cells and my brain, and I share them with you because, again, they're easy and basic and simple, and some will speak to you, maybe others won't, but this is about creating your own skill sets and your own toolkit to draw from moving forward, right? Module 16, I love this one. What is your life's purpose? Do you know? It's so important that we understand why we're here. And I'm saying outside of your roles. Okay, so I'm not talking about being the best mother, being the best wife, being the best. Those are great. I am talking about you without your roles, without your body weight, without your money, without your social outings, without your status. Who are you? Who are you really? This is really cool. It can be a little bit shocking for some people because they're like, I don't know who I am. Well, you do. You actually do. You just haven't been asked that before, and the world doesn't really encourage us to look at that. But we all have our life's purpose and our strength and our legacy. That's why we're here. That's called living as a master. After this program, there's the option to staying on. You graduate as an alumni. You have your homework pieces. They all come to me. I see every homework piece. I am not marking them, but I do little coaching audio summaries to send back to you. So there's so much one-on-one and so much coaching in this program. That's why it's a concentrated, comprehensive program. Jen is in there and Natalia is in there as well. All of these pieces are coming to us so that we have individual files for you. Everything is in the file. We can see where you're at. I can go over stuff with you. It really is about so many touch points because that's what women need. That's why this is my signature program. It's an all-encompassing program, and it truly is my gift to the world. I absolutely love it. I've been running it for 8 years now. Yeah, 8 years, I think. As a graduate, you get to stay on for a very nominal monthly fee, and there's no obligation. It's just month to month. There's me coaching every 1 day a week. Currently, it's Wednesdays. It could change, but 1 day a week, you get replays of everything, Q&As. We have guest interviews, guest speakers, articles, podcasts, videos, workouts. Goes on and on. Because, like I say, you need that ecosystem. And you need the community. And our Warrior Women community, some of the alumni have been hanging around, 4 or 5 years now, because this is where we live from. This is the joie de vivre, because it's not out there. I promise you, learning all of this and going out into the real world, it's not made for this. It's not made for your success in this way and at this depth. We need our ecosystem. We need our sisterhood. Right? And so that's why I have created the alumni graduate program. So to summarize, our 3 mastery coaches are with you at every turn, holding, supporting, inspiring, leading you through every step, reading every homework piece, giving feedback on everything. And of course, you get copies of everything. This is our commitment to every woman we work with, to you and your success. Clear structure, accountability, getting you unstuck when you get stuck, because I promise you, you will hit speed bumps and roadblocks. That's when coaching matters. Lessen the struggle to be seen, held, and supported. No more burnout, no more questioning, no more losing faith or momentum, no more do-overs. Strategy and structure, self-trust, self-love, consistency, and success. So imagine creating a strong, lean, shapely, healthy body at your beautiful age and beyond. You no longer struggle with your food or your weight. You know what to do now, and it's on rinse and repeat. You're feeling connected to your body again. You're living with flow and grace and ease. No more trying harder. This is about doing differently. That's all. Being there for the people you love for many years to come. Living consciously, awake, and in alignment with who you are in this beautiful time of transition. And as Jane Fonda said, we're not meant to be perfect, we're meant to be whole. So living a healthy, rich, deeply rewarding life is simple. People make it complicated. It's not complicated, guys. And please know this, I am you. I walk the walk as a 60-plus woman, business owner, lifestyle athlete, which we all are. Author, speaker, writer, wife and mother, and universal manifester. Ladies, we are all just walking each other home. This is the Mastery Lifestyle Program for 40-plus women, and I'm so thankful that you enjoyed this presentation. MasteryProgramForWomen.com is our website, and maybe I'll see you one day in the program. All right. Thank you for being here. Much love. Namaste. Take care.